Good morning and welcome, one and all, to Pacific414 Pop Talk. I am your host, Mike. I hope you're all doing well this Sunday morning. I have a few articles here to talk about on this Sunday. The first being about this new first person shooter game called The Finals, which is currently in pre alpha testing. Then I also have an article here related to Paramount and their removal of the J.J. Abrams Kelvin Universe Star Trek film, also known as Star Trek 4 for the Kelvin timeline. The next article I have here for this morning is about My Hero Academia's creators celebrating the season 6 premiere. I also have an article here in relation to Harrison Ford and rumors that he might be in the next Marvel movie. Then I also have another article here about director John Carpenter collaborating with Shout Factory on a Godzilla documentary. The other articles I have are related to Coolio and his unfortunate passing at the age of 59. And that will actually be our first story. I wish I could have talked about this on Wednesday, but by the time I found out about it, I was already off the air. So I am going to talk about it this Sunday morning. Let me go ahead and share the article both on screen and in the chat. As you can see, this article comes from Rolling Stone magazine, and we'll get into it. And of course, it is sad when anybody passes away, and passing away of a heart attack at the age of 59. I think about my own father who passed away of a heart attack at the age of 58. He would have been 59 the year he passed, but unfortunately, he didn't make it to his 59th birthday. So, this article starts off by saying Coolio Gangster of Paradise rapper dead at 59. Grammy winning musicians hits include 1, 2, 3, 4, Something New, and Fantastic Voyage. So the article starts off by saying Coolio, whose 90s music was a staple on radio, a favorite on MTV, and included the hit Gangster's Paradise, died Wednesday at the age of 59. Coolio's manager, Jarez Posey, confirmed the rapper's death to Rolling Stone. A cause of death was not immediately available, although we have found out later on that it was due to a heart attack. And I do want to say good morning to Joker Voice, who says Coolio was well known here in Vegas for hanging out with many local bars. And as a matter of fact, if you'd like to come on and talk about that, Joker Voice, I'll go ahead and put the invite link into the chat. And this way we can all talk about it because, you know, when Coolio's music came out, I was in junior high going into high school. To give anybody a frame of reference as far as, my own view on Coolio and, the impact that he did have. And he had quite the impact, especially, growing up in the 90s and, going through junior high and high school, like I said. Okay. So the article continues to say we are saddened by the loss of our dear friend and client Coolio, who passed away this afternoon. He touched the world with the gift of his talent and will be missed profoundly. And let me go ahead and welcome in Joker Voice. Good morning, Joker Voice.
Hello. What's happening?
Uh, Not much right now. How are you doing this morning?
Waking up.
I hear you.
It's a whopping 5 after 8 here in Las Vegas, where this death hit a few folks out here. So
Definitely. I mean, just think about his gravitas, how people were just drawn to him.
Sure, I've never been a big rap or R&B fan, so his presence in a bar was like, okay, cool. It's just another customer. But there was a lot of folks his who his the music resonated with. So he meant something to them, and that's fine.
Hmm.
But for me, I'm like, okay. I mean, at his age, I'm like, ooh, that's not good.
Yeah,
He's
that's young.
he's young, so but he lived life, so
Hmm.
and lived it pretty hard. So
Yeah, but it seems like a lot of men and women who are in the music industry, especially, do live a hard life. Partying and late
mhm,
nights.
mhm. And at some point, the body is just like, no, no, stop, stop,
Hmm.
stop.
Yep. And this article goes on to say Sheila Finnegan, his manager at Trinity Artists International, said in a statement to Variety, "Thank you to everyone worldwide who has listened to his music and to everyone who has been reaching out regarding his passing. Please have Coolio's loved ones in your thoughts and prayers."
Definitely.
Yes.
And it also came like a few days before the 5 year anniversary of the mass shooting out here in Las Vegas. So it's
Mhm.
it's been a rough week for um, emotionally out here.
Yeah, I mean, I remember hearing about that shooting and, having, been to Vegas multiple times and, knowing, where the Mandalay Bay is and
Mhm.
actually staying at the Mandalay Bay a few times. And
Yep. And actually, if there is any silver lining to this, it really brought the city as kind of as one for quite a long time. I've got a tattoo. There was a tattoo shop that was doing. It started off as just like a 2 week thing, and it, like starting in November, ended up going through February, where you got like a small tattoo
mhm.
about yay big right there.
Here, let me maximize you.
So there's the date and everything, and it could be anything. The It could be anything Vegas inspired with. Now the date, tattoos were $50, and 100% of the funds went to families and relief and stuff like that. So that was a really cool stuff, and there's a lot of folks with 10-1-17s.
Hmm. And you can't blame folks. I
No,
mean, when you first hear about it, you're shocked, of course,
yeah,
because you're
yeah,
thinking, how could this happen? How could this guy, you know, get into the hotel and do this
right,
from the hotel room he was at?
right, and it makes it even worse when we hear about things. That's over in some other state, that's over in another country, happens to in your town, it brings it home real quick.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, when things going on in the world, I'm originally from the San Diego area,
Oh yeah,
California. So anytime I hear something, happening there, yeah, my ears do perk up.
yeah, and I was just north of you. I spent most of my life in Orange County.
Okay.
So yeah.
So this article continues by saying in a statement, LAFD confirmed that a team of firefighters and paramedics responded to a medical emergency at Coolio's location and attempted to save the rapper for nearly 45 minutes.
Ugh, that's not good.
Mm-mm. LAFD arrived 4 minutes after dispatch to find an approximately 60-year-old male unresponsive, and they performed resuscitation efforts for approximately 45 minutes per protocol. With consultation, consultation, sorry, through the base hospital physician, the patient was declared dead just before 5 p.m. Pacific time. LAFPD cleared the scene, which was left under LAPD supervision awaiting the coroner. It says, as the news broke, those who knew him paid homage. This is sad news, Ice Cube wrote. I witnessed firsthand this man's grind to the top of the industry. Rest in peace. And then another quote here from MC Hammer says, one of the nicest dudes I've known. MC Hammer, good people. Rest in peace. And it goes on to say, born artist Leon Ivy Jr. in 1963, he went to school in Compton, California, and attended Compton Community College. He cut his first single in the late 1980s, What You Gonna Do, a song that was played locally on a hip hop station. He later connected with WC and the Mad Circle to contribute to their 1991 debut album, Ain't a Damn Thing Changed. By 1991, he had established himself in the Los Angeles rap scene, and signed to Tommy Boy Records, where he released his debut studio album, It Takes a Thief, album single Fantastic Voyage, accompanied by a playful video. Hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Goes on to say, a year later, he linked up with gospel singer LV for Gangster's Paradise, the unexpectedly haunting track that sampled Stevie Wonder's Pastime Paradise and appeared in the movie Dangerous Minds.
Correct.
It wasn't really familiar. Well, the author of this article is saying I wasn't really familiar with Fan- Pastime Paradise much as much of a Stevie Wonder fan as I was. Coolio told Rolling Stone in 2015 in an oral history of the song. My very first album I ever bought was the one with Superwoman on it, 1972's Music of My Mind. I got that for my 12th birthday. That one and Fight for the Power by the Isley Brothers. The songs in the key of life. My mother had that album at the house, so it was kind of weird that I didn't know the song. I went back inside my manager's house to use the toilet before I rolled out, and that's when I heard the track. And I walked into the studio and asked Doug, "Wow, whose track is that?" Doug said, "Oh, it's something I'm working on." I said, "Well, it's mine." He
Okay.
added, "All right." He added, "I sat down and I started writing, hearing the bass line, the chorus line, and the book. It just opened up my mind." As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and I see there's nothing left. I freestyled that. That came off the top of my dome, and I wrote that down. I thought about it for a minute, and then I wrote the whole rest of the song without stopping. From the first verse to the third verse, you know, I like to believe that it was divine intervention. Gangster's Paradise wanted to be born. It wanted to come to life, and it chose me as the vessel. Tommy Boy reportedly did not think the song would fit his next album and and added it instead to the film's soundtrack. And while he never released Rollin' with My Homies as a single, the song had an iconic placement in the 1993 film Clueless.
Mhm.
Gangster's Paradise hit number one and became 1995's biggest single. Its success guaranteed its inclusion on his next album titled after the track, and it won a Grammy for Best Solo Rap Performance. The song was popular that Weird Al Yankovic parodied with the 1996 Amish Paradise, which Tommy Boy approved of, but Coolio did not.
Oh,
Coolio event. I'd always heard that Coolio had a beef about Weird Al making the song, but I always took that as a rumor, but apparently it
yeah,
was true.
apparently it was true. But I mean, I'm just like, that's how you know your songs made it big when the Weird Al daps it.
Hmm. I mean, I know there have been artists in the past who haven't liked his parody, but again, like you just said, Joker voice, that's how you know you made it in the music industry.
Right.
So, anyways, it goes on to say Coolio did not. Coolio eventually admitted his ego had gotten in the way, and the two made amends. On Wednesday, Yankovic shared a photo of the two of them hugging with the caption "R.I.P. Coolio." His sophomore set produced the hits "One Two Three Four," "Something New," which hit the top 10 in 1996, and "Too Hot." While his music encapsulated many of the trademarks that made gangster rap so dominant in prior years, its affable, playful approach to both his music and videos endeared him to a larger audience.
Mhm.
He was tapped to rap the theme for the Nickelodeon comedy series Keenan and Kel, All Here It Goes. He also began pursuing acting and made his on screen debut in a cameo for 1996 comedy Pat Beach and had a part in 1997's Batman and Robin.
Yes, he did. Ugh.
Coolio released My Soul in 1997, which featured the single When You See You When You Get There. While he ran into some legal trouble that derailed the success of that album, an arrest in Germany for alleged shoplifting and assaulting the shop owner, and a charge for carrying a concealed weapon a year later in California, he continued to work in the acting realm, starring as triplets in the film Tyrone, and was a regular on Hollywood Squares. His last album was 2009's From the Bottom to the Top. And before we continue our discussion on Coolio and the legacy that he leaves, I do want to welcome in Anonymous. 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 Good morning, Anonymous.
Morning, all.
What's up?
Oh, just hanging out. It's all good. What's going on, guys? Just
Well,
besides
we
Coolio.
Day's
we
just
just
starting.
finished reading the first article of this morning's Pop Talk about Coolio's passing. And so,
Yeah.
do you have any memories of Coolio? Maybe growing up in the 90s or going through school and hearing Gangster's Paradise or any of his
Oh,
music?
yeah. I mean, that's the only thing. I wasn't. I'm not into rap, but that song got around. Um, Everybody's heard it, obviously. I mean, come on. I do grow up in the '90s and not hear that song, especially. Um, yeah, the Weird Al parody, right? So yeah. Everybody's heard that too. So, yeah, like I said, rap wasn't my thing. You know most of the artists from that time period, but even if you're not into it, you know the people, right? But yeah, the music wasn't for me. I do remember him. I apparently he played on, tried his hand at acting a little bit, but the only thing I've ever seen him in was a cameo in Space Above and Beyond, and that's weird because I could have swore that like that was they were touting that as his first entrance into acting, but
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I remember I remember him in Batman and Robin. It was a bit part where he was the guy who handled the cash and the bets for the bike race that Batgirl and Robin ended up being in.
Was it a voice? Is it the cartoon?
Nope, in the
No.
live action Batman and Robin film.
Oh, the movie. Oh.
Yeah, that which I would understand if you forgot about that film. I try to often.
Yeah, there was so much painted people in it. It's hard to
Oh
know
boy,
who was who.
Schumacher. What can you do?
Really?
I try not to think about those movies, to be perfectly honest.
You know, is
I mean, if I'm gonna think about any Batman movies, it's Batman '89 and Batman Returns.
Yeah. Well, Space Above and Beyond was in '96.
yeah.
He appeared at one of the later episodes, but Batman and Robin was '97. So
correct.
So what did it say that his first roles were?
Let me go back through the article.
Sorry, I'd do some more homework.
I know, right?
Music was used in Clueless. All right. Why can't I find it now?
Because you're looking for it.
Right.
It don't matter. It's just a piece of trivial information. No big deal. Yeah, it was a good song, and that's what he's famous for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird though. I like songs in like every genre, but I don't like some genres like rap. I don't like rap, but there are some good songs in the rap genre that I like, and country and I like. Oh, come on, man!
Nope.
There's some good songs in the country.
Nope.
I'm right there with Joker voice. I just can't get into country. I've tried, and I'll explain why. My dad and I used to go up to this area of California, actually two areas called Bishop, California, and Mammoth Lakes, California.
Mm-hmm.
And there are patches in that drive where all you get are country stations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all we had to listen to if I didn't want to listen to the same tape over and over again. So after a while, my dad would turn on the radio. I would turn it off. Going, no, I don't want to listen to any country.
Yep.
Oh, no. Didn't like any, can't stand any Alabama.
No.
Not one song of Alabama. Not one song of Garth Brooks.
Nope.
No.
Pretty much.
It doesn't jive with me.
Pretty much, if it's not metal, industrial, or gothic, I'm really not interested.
Yeah. I like a little bit of everything. I'm an all around guy.
Now, I will say this, and this is the one exception. If on a jukebox, I could say I hate country, but if someone plays Jolene, That's a different story altogether.
Country music.
Well, I know that's my dolly. I mean, I know there's always the exception to the rule.
That's what I'm saying. There's a song. There's certain songs. I know you got one, but it's still one. It's still a song. Still a country song.
That's not a win.
I mean, I guess I could say that about 9 to 5, and
Yeah, who doesn't just get up or no, you
But,
get up and
but
dance, but I mean just
but isn't that? But wouldn't 9 to 5 be the more of a pop song?
yeah,
Like
that's what I've
country?
always considered it. Even though Dolly was more country and folk, and
I'm just saying.
so, yeah. So we do have another article related to Coolio this morning, and it's actually related to his role on Futurama.
Uh,
So I'm going to go ahead and post a link to that article. And now I'm going to go ahead and share it. All right, there we go. Got it. So this article comes from Variety, and it says Coolio recorded Futurama revival cameo as Kwanzaa bot weeks before death. All right. So starts off by saying Coolio recorded lines for the Futurama revival at Hulu just weeks before his death at age 59. Futurama executive producer David X. Cohen told TMZ that the rapper reprised his role as Kwanzaa bot for the revival, even recording some new music as the character. And the article continues to say fans of the series will recall that Kwanzaa bot was the counterpart to Robot Santa and Hanukkah Zombie. Every year, he flies around the world distributing a book called "What the Hell Is Kwanzaa?" And that's from the show, folks. If you've never seen the show, you have to watch the show to get it. It's not me saying "What the hell is Kwanzaa?" It's part of the gag in the show. You have to watch it.
don't apologize, Mike.
You know how people can get offended easily, and
Don't be afraid to offend people.
he originally appeared in the season 4 episode of Tale of Two Santas, and again in the season 7 episode, the Futurama Holiday Spectacular. He also made a cameo in the Futurama film Bender's Big Score. Julio was one of my favorite guests, Cohen said. He was always totally upbeat and genuinely enjoyed coming in to record as his character, Kwanzaa. Cohen also said that the episode in which Coolio appears will be dedicated to him, which is only the right thing to do. As previously reported, Coolio collapsed at a friend's home in Los Angeles on September 28th. Paramedics attempted to revive him, but to no avail. The Futurama revival was first ordered at Hulu back in February. The streaming service gave the series a 20 episode order. The original cast of the series will return for the revival, though John DiMaggio, who voices Bender, was not attached at first. He stated on social media that he felt the cast deserved to be paid more for the new episodes, creating the hashtag Bendergate. He announced that he had rejoined the series in March. So we'll be able to hear his voice one more time on our television screens or on our tablets, on our computers when that episode in the revival series of Futurama actually begin. And, my only question as far as the revival of Futurama is concerned is it still going to be as fun as it used to be? I do have my doubts. I'm not going to lie and say I don't have my doubts about it. But
Yeah,
that's a case where you're just gonna have to sit there and watch it and see.
well, you get every right to be doubtful. I mean, come on. We, this is the times we live in, right? So um, you got to be worried about everything that comes out, especially something that's already been made and something from the past, something they're redoing, reviving, rebooting, whatever. There's a good chance they're going to 90% chance they're going to ruin it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's some good news. And of course, it could also be said that, you know, there are those who never thought it would get the light of day to begin with. And I'll go ahead and post a link to the article before putting the article on screen. Because honestly, I don't think we need a fourth one of these movies. Just my opinion. I think three was enough. And what am I talking about? I am talking about the fact that this article from Superhero Hype says Paramount removes the next Star Trek film from its release schedule.
Good.
All right. So it starts off by saying ever since the release of 2016 Star Trek Beyond, the fourth film in the series, Star Trek 4, has had trouble getting out of space dock. In 2016, J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay wrote a script for a fourth film, but it never materialized. From 2017 to 2019, Quentin Tarantino, S.J. Clarkson, and Noah Hawley were considered to direct, but all moved on to other projects. Last year, Paramount hired Matt Shackman to direct, and Lindsay Beer and Geneva Robertson Duarte to pen the script. The film was set to arrive on December 22nd, 2023. However, after Shackman's exit last month, a delay was inevitable. Now it's official as Paramount removed the next Star Trek film from its release calendar.
Shocking.
The latest update comes from Deadline, who specified that Paramount temporarily removed the film from the schedule. Deadline is also reporting that a search for a new director is underway. Cast members from the reboot, including Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Zandela, Simon Pegg, and Carl Urban, are still said to be attached to Star Trek 4. The fourth film is part of the Kelvin timeline, which is set in an alternate universe that diverges from the original series. The first film in this timeline was 2009 Star Trek. The success of Star Trek spawned two sequels, 2013's Star Trek Into Darkness. Just watch Wrathacon. Skip Into Darkness. Wrathacon is a much better movie.
Mm-hmm.
And 2016 Star Trek Beyond. Regardless, the lackluster box office response to Beyond is one of the reasons a sequel hasn't happened yet.
And
You
won't.
still no, and it's never going to see the light of day.
No, this thing is dead on arrival, which is interesting because I saw on Midnight's Edge they were talking about this a while ago, and where JJ announced that hey, there's going to be a fourth film, and somebody approached Chris Pine and asked him about it, and he's like, "That's news to me. I've never heard of this."
Yeah, because the truth is, none of the cast members are probably signed to a contract.
Nope. And I actually did a video of this not too long ago, called "Bad Robot" or "Bad Reboot," because I think Hollywood is catching on to the charlatan, the hack that is J.J. Abrams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had a Constantine series set to go, and the Warner Brothers and HBO is like, no, we're not going to have it here, and it's not even going to HBO Max. We're going to shop it somewhere else. Maybe Netflix will take it.
Yeah, you'd come on and you share that article with me here on Pop Talk.
Yeah, and it's just and the two other people you mention there who had written for the fourth film. They were they wrote some of Star Trek Beyond. They were uncredited. Those are now the writers and the showrunners for Rings of Power.
Yep.
And we all know what that dumpster fire is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I tried watching it. I tried watching it for 3 episodes because I said on a Sunday edition of Pop Talk that I would.
Right.
And I wasn't enjoying my experience. I wasn't pulled in like I was with the movies.
Right.
And I only watched the movies last year.
Right.
For the first time. And I got pulled in right away. And some people were saying you should just go with the theatrical cut. And some people were talking about the extended edition. And I'm thinking, well, if I'm going to go all in on these movies, I might as well go with the extended edition.
Right.
So, the fact that we're not getting a Star Trek 4, that's nothing to cry about.
No.
Not in my opinion.
It's not. And also another student of the J.J. Abrams School is Alex Kurtzman, and we all know what he's done with Star Trek as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I mean, look at Discovery, look at Picard.
Yep.
Look at Lower Decks. Even Strange New Worlds. I tried watching the first episode of that, and I didn't even make it through the first half of the episode. I turned it off. I'm up. Nope.
Yeah. If it wasn't for if it was not for the show that I'm on Friday nights, I would not be. I would have stopped watching Lord of the Rings after its premiere.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you there. And before we begin, please welcome Potato Revan.
Hey!
Potato!
I heard rumors, it's been going around for about 2 weeks now, that Paramount is planning a Next Generation movie.
Why?
In the Kelvin timeline.
Oh, dear God.
What? Why? What the crap?
How?
I don't know. I think at this stage they're basically just saying words and see what happens.
Let's just throw it at the wall.
Yeah.
Just gonna reboot Next Generation.
Pretty much. Because when me and my friend, we went to the cinema, and sadly we saw all 3 of those movies because fuck it. And we turned around, and at the end of the movies, like at the end, when we saw the Enterprise A, we just looked at each other and said, dear God, by the time it gets to Next Generation, that ship's going to be unstoppable.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And Revan, I just love the fact that you guys say cinema, and the way you say it just gives the entire show a touch of class now. So
thank you.
Thank you for that.
Very welcome.
I think we all need to start saying it.
The cinema.
Well, yeah.
Cinema.
Yeah.
I'll
cinema.
work on it.
Start watching all those programs. Sorry.
I was going to say, we all could start saying it, but will it have the same effect as when Potato says it?
No, definitely not.
I ain't
Especially
go to
when
watch
I say
cinema.
film.
What that?
Would you like to go and see a film in the cinema?
See, that just warms my little dark soul. That's just thank you.
Yeah. Our cinema's beside the theater, which really confused my American cousin.
Wait, what? You said let's go to the theater, but there's a cinema. The cinema next to a theater. What the hell?
Yeah, he was standing there and he's like, wait, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, what, aren't you coming into the cinema? And he's just looking like, but that's the theater. Yeah, that's where plays go. Oh, and he's
right.
Like, you mean the playhouse?
Oh, that's awesome. That is just great.
But in the Star Trek groups I'm in for the Irish ones and the Irish cosplay and everything, they've been talking about like what they hope for the Next Generation movie, and I'm like, it's not even confirmed.
Just leave it where it is. Just leave it.
Yeah, like honestly, what they honest to God need to do is do a brand new timeline, because we need to get rid of Discovery from the timeline, Picard and everything like that. Just say that there was another Q, bang, snapped his fingers, new timeline, right?
Oh God, that's just
no, and just make good Star Trek again.
That would be nice, and I say this with Star Wars, and I've said this over and over and over again, and with this new Andor show, and I'm like, look, you're going backwards in time. Okay, you've gone to prequels, now you've got a prequel of a prequel, and
I found out the reason for that.
Well, yeah, there's because the films have pretty much been shut down.
They have the films, the sequel trilogy has been so that if they do anything in that timeline, the best thing that they can do is move 10,000 years into the future, where the Skywalker family,
or okay, I'll let you finish your thought.
Where the Skywalker saga, let's just call it, is irrelevant. And I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, like, where the names Darth Vader or things like that mean the same, has the same impact on us as Genghis Khan. It's a name.
Okay, or there is something, and I actually did a video of this comparing Andor to another prequel series that Lucasfilm did, but in animated form, called Rebels. Rebels gives us a tool to either decanonize the sequels or push it into an alternate timeline, and it's 2 words: Ahsoka lives.
The world between worlds. I think that's already happened.
Well, it kind of already has, because in that episode, when Ezra and Ahsoka leave, and Ahsoka goes back into that timeline, you've created a branch timeline.
Yes, and do you remember at the end, in basically the main movies where Ahsoka died, right? 4, 5, and 6. Obi-Wan said there are no Jedi left. Like, very few. There's like no Jedi. The Order's gone. Ahsoka says to Luke, "There's Jedi out there."
Right.
They are out there, which means that there's already 2 timelines.
Right. So I have said the Ahsoka series is the key.
And I've heard Filoni referring to the Mandalorian TV show as the Mandoverse.
Right, and there are folks who don't quite trust Dave for obvious reasons.
Yeah, obviously.
And, they believe that Dave is trying to remake Star Wars as he sees fit, but he's closer to George than Kathleen is.
Yeah, he was literally George's right-hand man. The thing is, I love The Mandalorian. I'm sad what they did with Carano, but I love The Mandalorian. Boba Fett was a steaming pile of
misstep.
crap.
It was a misstep.
It was. But I think what they might end up doing is saying, okay, we screwed up with Boba Fett when it comes back, because Tamara Morrison was talking about it. They're all talking about it, and it seems that they're trying to go to correct it. Because whatever they do wrong in the TV shows, it seems that they try to correct themselves.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Tamara Morrison was saying Boba Fett wouldn't act like this.
Well, no. Yeah. Well, okay. So there's something that's going on with that, because apparently from what I've heard, and this is from like the Midnight's Edge and stuff, that John basically had enough faith in Robert to just say, okay, do your thing. I'm gonna go work on pre-stuff for Ahsoka and Mando 3, and once the deal for once the project Blood and Bone got shipped off, once Blood and Bone got shipped off to Paramount, Kathleen had nothing to do, so she went over and interfered in the Book of Boba Fett, and that's why we had those 2 episodes that are basically Mando episodes,
and they were the best.
Yeah, clearly.
Like, I would literally say, if you want to watch Mandalorian Season 3, you need to watch those episodes of Boba Fett, because I'm introducing Mandalorian to my friend, and I said that when we finish that Mandalorian, we're going to have to watch 3 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett.
Now, Revan, I know you have your Revan mask there on your potato here.
You bastard, you owe me money. Hold on. I'm going to be building my own costume, right? I'm working on losing weight, so I'm going to go on. Do you want to see my face? Not my real face, but the face of Potato Revan for the future.
Sure.
Why not?
There he is.
Ah, nice.
Do you know what order I'm from?
No clue.
Death Watch.
Oh.
And hold on now. And this is my tool of choice.
A dark side. Nice. Are you gonna be House of Isla?
I am going to be simply Mandalore. Didn't say where I'm from. I'm just a long distant Mandalore.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
By the way, I liked your Defiant.
Why, thank you. That is a January 1996 Playmates Defiant, because we bought it in an estate sale at Comic-Con.
Nice.
Yeah, Dublin Comic-Con buys things at market value from nerds who passed away, and they sell them, and all the proceedings of them go to the funeral funds for those nerds who passed away. Very and cool. They even upmarket. And the thing is, it's like when you walk in, it's like estate sale. This box belonged to blah blah blah. Here's the story behind them and everything. The people are actually happy to pay above price. I saw someone paying €150 for a €100 Transformer, and they turned around and they're like, "Oh yeah, that was 150. Thank you very much." And he's like, "Whatever we can do to help."
Nice. Yeah, you can find some gems at these estate sales. There's actually something out here. The drummer for the band System of a Down. Mm-hmm. He owns a comic book shop out here.
Oh.
And he was at an estate sale, and he bought a long box, sight unseen, for $10,000. And he's going through it. He finds first run in 9.8 condition, still bagged, boarded, #1 Hulk.
Oh my God!
Oh wow!
Yeah,
there was a guy who.
And then he had it in his shop. It lasted for 2 weeks. Sold for $50,000.
Yep. There was a guy in, I believe it was Missouri, who was cleaning out his grandfather. He had passed away. And he said, like, they had no money or anything like that. And he was cleaning out his grandfather's house and everything. And he found a metal box from, like, the 50s when he was in the army. Okay. And he said, okay. So he's going through, some army stuff. And inside it, Superman #1.
Mm-hmm.
Mint condition. He said he sold that thing for, like, nearly $1 million.
I've also heard another story where a guy, his great uncle died, and he'd left him this box of stuff, to whatever, and there's this little box envelope looking thing. Opened up, he's looking through there. There's 1,000 shares of original Disney stock.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
The only thing I was left was the 200-year-old shillelagh.
Okay, nice.
It was
I got bills.
Yeah.
I've got bills. If you want some more for your collection, I can give them to you gladly.
I appreciate that. You're too kind, sir. You're too kind.
You're like, you see crowd. It's like, what's wrong? I owed $500 and now I owe $25,000 in 6 different countries. I don't want these gifts anymore. But I'm currently working on my little like nerd cave and everything, and I'm really debating with myself because I'm a Star Wars fan. I'd say even like you, Joker, I am debating with myself about to get the Rey Skywalker lightsaber because it's Anakin. No, not her lightsaber. But listen, it is listed as Rey Skywalker's lightsaber. It was Anakin's lightsaber.
Of course,
it's just yeah. But the thing is, it has the words Rey on the box. I'm gonna throw that fucking box away.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just to get Anakin's lightsaber because I'm going to be getting Obi-Wan's FX lightsaber.
Yeah, and with the put a thing with the sequels and everything, and this is what I've said. I've said this numerous times, and yet people don't believe me. They don't believe me. The Obi-Wan show. The only reason it exists was to legitimize the sequels.
Yeah, literally. Like me and my friends were like, "What would we do in Star Wars?" And I'd say, because we don't know for a fact that Luke has no kids, I'd put in, say we're in the future, 500 years, and we're having this guy something Skywalker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now this guy's going to remain nameless, but he's force drawn to a specific point in the desert. He puts his hand out, and then the Luke Skywalker lightsaber and Anakin's comes flying up out of the sand to him, and he's standing there, and he says, "The Skywalker lightsaber." And then it goes. Then you see the rest of the cast, and that lightsaber is held by the head of the Skywalker family, and the Grand Master of the Jedi Order. It's to legitimize him. Like the Dark Blade, and I'm like, yeah, I'd say I would literally leave Leia's lightsaber in there because to me she wasn't a Jedi at all.
No. Right, and I mean, we know from the extended universe, which Kathleen was like, nope, that doesn't exist. We're going to decanonize all that stuff. That never happened.
But they'll borrow from it.
Yeah, we're gonna look at it. You know, we're gonna
steal from it,
pilfer and steal and clean and whatever. Because because one of the biggest questions of the sequels was, why is Kylo Ren named Ben? Han and Leia had no connection to Obi-Wan. None.
Yes.
I mean, that was understood. But now, because of the Kenobi series, Leia has a reason to call her son Ben.
Which is stupid.
Right. And I would bring this up, and folks would go to the one line in New Hope when Luke is like, I brought your R2, you know, I'm here with Ben Kenobi, and Leia goes, Ben, you know, Ben Kenobi, where? And like, see, she's excited. She knows who and I'm like, okay, then go to when Ben gets killed. Who's the only one affected there? Leia gave zero fucks.
I don't think it was because she knew Ben as Ben. I think it was basically because she knew her dad was like, Ben Kenobi, the Jedi Master, and she's like, holy shit, there's a Jedi Master? That's it. Like, and then when he dies, she's like, crap.
Right.
We'll have to get a new one.
And I do want to say hello to the Nerf Royal live form. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
But I've got but like one of the things that I'm planning on doing when I get my green screen and get my suit all together and everything, I'm going to shit on the trilogy series, the sequels, so hard. I'm just going to be there, and
if you want to invite me on for that.
Oh hell yeah. Like, yeah, god damn it, you're coming on. Like, I'm bringing everyone on. I'm just going to shit on this. So you're going to see me in green screen in the costume, and I'm literally going to walk up, and it's going to be like do a weird flashback. Yeah, going to be like, hi, I met this guy years ago. His name was Steven. I met him once when I was a kid. Anyway, so here's my son, Steven.
Right.
And it's like, But why did you call him Steven? Met a dude like the name, kind of, I don't know. And it's just, but the thing is, I don't got kids, so it's just gonna be a little ball on a stick or something like that. And it's like, but my whole thing is that my potato reverend's mentally insane.
And I will just say, and I'll say this: if they do decide, John and Dave, if you're listening, Mara Jade, Karen Gillan as Mara Jade.
Yes,
I can see it.
I would now. Here's the thing. I would have Sebastian Shaw as Luke Skywalker. Now, but just to pull a Mandalorian, I would not even announce
Sebastian Stan. You mean?
Yes, thank you, Sebastian Stan. I would not even announce like Karen Gillan or Mara Jade or anyone like that in it, right? I would simply have just call it the Tales of Luke Skywalker or something like that. And he's going along, but he's there and he's breaking into this prison, and when he's find some Jedi MacGuffin, and then all you hear is like one bullet, and it's like, I could have missed you, I could have hit you if I wanted. And he turns around and there's a girl standing in Mara Jade's exact uniform with the goggles on her, and she has her gun out, and he's like, really? And she's like, nice lightsaber. Pulls her one out. What do you think of mine?
And he's like, one? Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, wait, what are you doing there? It's like, hi, Mara Jade. I was sent after you at one point by Emperor Palpatine. And Luke's just standing there like, what? And then she puts her hand up and pushes the door open using the Force, and she's like, you okay? Do you think you've never seen another Jedi before? And he's just looking like,
huh?
What? But I'd even give Luke a bit more of a humorous side, like build on that.
Right.
Like,
I mean, the last time we saw Luke in the Book of Boba Fett,
yes,
folks complained that he was too stoic and too this and I'm like, okay, even still, do you really think that stoic, centered, zen Luke Skywalker is gonna kill his nephew because this nephew had a bad dream?
No. I would even go, like, just to show an alternate timeline, I would say use Mara. Oh no. Yeah.
I knew this would get some groans.
Oh Christ.
Hey, old man, retired.
Let me guess. Let me guess. He's gonna be General Ross.
No, General Ross is already dead.
I know.
No, I'm not talking about the character. They've actually killed the actor. They killed the character.
Oh, did they? Oh, darn. Sorry.
I know.
Yep, this article comes from Cosmic Book News, and it says Harrison Ford is rumored for Marvel's Thunderbolts as General Thunderbolt Ross. The rumor comes... Go ahead.
But when we're talking about rumors, how many times have we've heard from like that Brie Larson is going to be in as Mara Jade or something like that because she dressed up in a Star Wars costume.
Right, we've also heard that Giancarlo Esposito is either going to be Professor X, Magneto, or Doctor Doom.
Why not all of the above?
I mean, again, nothing. Again, and this was my big thing, and I mentioned this on my channel too. Taking nothing away from Esposito as an actor because he's a great actor.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But using Doom as an example, Doom is Romani. He's Eastern Europe. He's Eastern European, Southern Asian. He's for layman's terms, he is a gypsy.
Yes.
The country he rules over is sandwiched right between Hungary and Romania. Guess what? There's not a lot of there.
Oh! I can guess, but I can't say it.
Darker skinned.
Yeah, but
right.
You know who you could put him in as? Bishop.
Yeah.
Older Bishop.
Yeah.
Or else, what you could do, just to be like, okay, fuck, is have, you know, the way they're doing variants in the MCU at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but have a multiverse window coming through, and you see Black Panther, but the suit is all weathered and it's aged and everything like that. And you hear him like this African, and they open it up, and he's standing there, and it's like, "Who are you?" Because, "Mother, I do not know. I have not seen you in so many years."
Oh, that would be interesting.
He goes, "I am T'Challa," and you see another Black Panther, and he goes, "Father, what are we doing here?" And he's there, and he goes, "This is my son." He's like, "Where are we?" Because you see, like, their universe is dying, right? And he goes, "We require sanctuary," and they're like, "The king is back." But then you can have T'Challa being retired, being off over here, and you could have Tamira, his son, right there in the middle as the new Black Panther, and everyone would be happy.
It could work,
but no, because Victoria Alonso is steering the ship right now.
The feminists wouldn't be happy.
No. Why can't Black Panther was female in the comics? Yeah, and that run died.
Yeah. The only reason why we're not getting a new T'Challa, or even T'Challa's son, is because none of the, let's say, fundamentalist Wakanda fans from the movies, you know, the whole Wakanda power and all that stuff, none of them would accept another actor, even though they're like, "Oh yeah, we're doing this out of respect." But Disney used what's his name? Oh, the actor's name, Chadwick Boseman. Yep. They used his Twitter to promote Black Panther. Ooh, it's like, yeah, how much respect is shown there?
That's tasteless.
Mm-hmm.
And
no respect.
I think, and I honestly think this film might, and I mean might, it's going to really depend on that opening the weekend, might be the only Phase 4 film that profits. But if it's anything, if it hits globally opening weekend 550 or a little north of that, it has a shot. Other than that, no.
The new movie Woman
King. You seen who they're putting in it?
What?
So have you seen who they're putting in this?
They're putting in Ironheart. They're re-racing Namor, who's no longer Atlantean. He's Aztec, and I'm like, no.
If this is true, if this is the real lineup, like freaking Taskmaster and
why would Taskmaster be
Black Widow too? Marvel Thunderbolts lineup. You seen?
Okay. This Ghost is going to be okay. I was talking about the Wakanda forever being.
Oh yeah. Okay. I thought you were talking about Thunderbolts
being possibly the only Phase 4 film that makes a profit. Possibly. Maybe.
Possibly. Yeah, it's going to have the standard built-in audience that are going to support it regardless of whether it sucks or not. But
and it's going to have that. It's going to have that goodwill opening because folks loved Chadwick. I mean, he just oozed charisma.
Yeah, but he's not in it. That's
I understand, but this will be the goodwill to kind of say goodbye.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were in London where Chadwick is buried and they counted that as his cameo when they passed his graveyard.
In the trailer you see images of him like on buildings and stuff. So it's going to be it's gonna be a farewell.
They're giving a bigger farewell to Black Panther than they are to Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
I said, like, what I would have done is I would have opened up Infinity War with a funeral, right? Had all of them there, and just say for talks like that, yeah, you say, oh, there was a janitor or there was someone who touched all of their lives, right?
Right.
And it goes off, and they're like walking along and everything, but the logo of it, right, has the Stan Lee's, like, and it says to Excelsior and all stuff like that.
Right.
But then when all the characters who he made are all standing around looking sad with their hands on him, they're like, goodbye, you hear Mr. Lee. And they put him down into the ground, and they're there, and they just put the exact same glasses that Stan Lee wears over the, like, on top of the grave, and they leave there, and they walk off. And it says Stan Lee has the date he was born and the exact date he died, and it says Excelsior, in loving memory, all your fans.
That's something that and I know I hate to invoke this film.
Yeah, go ahead.
But Captain the Marvel, when they did the opening Marvel sequence, instead of showing all the heroes and stuff, it was all Stan Lee. It's Stan Lee, and then they said, "Thank you, Stan Lee, born this date," and
yeah, so. That would, like, there was one of my friends came up with the idea of what they should have done is that they should have been there, and you should have seen, like, had introduced the concept of the Watcher, right? Mm-hmm. And he turns around and he has a storybook in his hand for everyone's life, and he's there and he just goes to the end of it and he says, good story, my friend. Closes it and he says, off to your next journey. And you just see this man who looks like Stan Lee walking into the light as he hangs up the book. And he's there and he turns around and he watches him and he goes, don't worry, I will watch over your creations for you.
Okay.
I'll tell you something. Did you hear what he said about Spider-Man and how it could have been anyone? The way he was talking about Spider-Man actually got me in the feels. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. He was important to me growing up and things like that. And just the way to hear how much he loved Spider-Man. He said Spider-Man.
That was by far his favorite character.
Yeah. He said what he loved is Spider-Man could have been anyone. He said it didn't. He said Peter Parker's a white kid from Brooklyn. He said Spider-Man's a black guy. Spider-Man's an Asian guy. Spider-Man is whoever. He said.
Mm-hmm. Right. That doesn't make sense.
What you mean?
Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
Right.
No. What does he mean? What does he mean by it?
Basically, he means that Spider-Man, the whole reason why he was covered up is so kids reading the comic, watching the cartoons, growing up with Spider-Man, could envisage themselves as Spider-Man. Because he has you don't know what he looks like.
Okay,
that's
fine.
What he meant.
That's fine. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
So, a faceless superhero, but
yeah,
right.
And I get.
Sorry, I have to go. My dinner's ready, guys.
Someone that anyone can identify with. Well, thank you for coming on, Revan. Really appreciate it.
So, yeah. But you got to look at. You don't need it. You don't identify with the looks of a character. You identify with
the character,
who that character is, mm-hmm. What he's.
How dare you say that? How dare you say?
Well, I dare.
How dare you?
Yeah. So I could see myself, not myself. I could see my. I can identify with a female superhero, right. Or any female character. I mean, I could see I can identify with freaking Ripley from Aliens.
Right. I was in a chat last night and they were talking about the Harry Potter. They were talking about the Harry Potter horror films, and they were talking about Hermione in this one scene where she kind of gets pushed aside, and she's almost kind of, her friends don't notice her or anything. And I said, okay, someone who stutters and kind of gets pushed to the side of conversations and stuff, I can relate to that. And I look nothing like Emma Watson.
No,
I don't know.
I was born with cerebral palsy. I know how it feels to be cast aside, how people will look at you and say, oh, you're no good, you're not going to amount to anything because you're different.
Right. And no one needs, and again, I don't need to look like Emma, the Watson, to understand what that character is going through.
Because you have your own frame of reference as to what you've gone through, and seeing that character on screen go through what you've been through, it does make you think. It happens in the fictional world just like it happens in the real world, where if you don't meet a certain standard, people will shun you.
Right. Which makes me so mad about Andor, because there's finally a stutterer, and it's a stupid box on wheels droid that gets peed on. Jerks. Okay.
So, continuing on with this article, it says this rumor about Harrison Ford joining the Thunderbolts comes from Jeff Snyder via YouTube, who was the first to reveal that Blade lost its director and the problems surrounding the film. Thunderbolts was announced at D23 Expo, with Snyder claiming that the plan was to have Marvel announce Harrison Ford as part of the cast. However, Snyder says Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy stopped the announcement because she didn't want the announcement to take anything away from Indiana Jones 5 at D23.
Which is her swan song.
Snyder also says that Marvel has denied Harrison Ford is joining Thunderbolts and playing Thunderbolt Ross, so bear that in mind. And he says Ford is not cast in the role. What could be happening is that Marvel wants Harrison Ford to play Ross, but that Ford declined the role, or that Ford does have the role, but Marvel is waiting to make the big announcement.
Here's what I think is happening. And it's the same reason we got a Deadpool announcement before they've even started shooting. Because Marvel knows right now they're in the tank and they are scrambling. They have nothing there's nothing positive at all, and they need something to generate interest.
Yeah, look at it this way. He doesn't have to do anything strenuous, right?
Nope.
Because all he has to do is play General Ross, old, military guy, and the moment he changes into Red Hulk, he's out. He's doing voice acting.
Right. It's CDGG at that point.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to do Indiana Jones type stuff.
Correct.
And this is an easy paycheck for him, for sure.
Right.
And it's his chance to get into the MCU. Maybe he had a little something in the back of his brain. Well, maybe I want to be in a superhero movie.
I don't think so.
It may not. I mean, he's pretty high above a lot of these actors, and
I think he wants. To be quite honest, I think he wants to go on into his ranch in Montana with Callista and just fly planes.
I mean, yeah, it's quite possible. I mean, he's getting up there. They probably offered him a bag full of money or a truckload full of money.
He's like 80. He's 80 plus.
Yeah. So,
but getting him to sign is just
dangling the keys.
Yep.
That's why they probably dropped a truckload of money off at his house.
I mean,
Yeah.
if this is true, but I
Yeah.
mean, but this is going to be they're going to try to make the Thunderbolts the Suicide Squad, which is basically what the Thunderbolts is. It's Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this article goes on to say multiple sources have indicated that Harrison Ford either is or was the studio's top choice to star in the Thunderbolts movie as General Ross himself, said Snyder. William Hurt first played General Ross in 2008, The Incredible Hulk movie, and passed away on March 13th of this year at the age of 71 due to complications from prostate cancer. His last appearance in the MCU was in Black Widow. Thunderbolts has a July 26th, 2024 release date. Jake Snyder is the director with the film starring Florence Pugh as Yelena, Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier, Wyatt Russell as U.S. Agent, Taskmaster, Master Olga.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I'm pretty much the same way. And Julia Louis Dreyfus as
Madam Hydra.
Valentina.
Right.
Yep.
Madam Hydra, basically. And it looks like there's Red Guardian there, and is that Ghost?
Yeah.
From Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yep. I know. Okay, so Ghost is a gender swapped character. Taskmaster is now a gender swapped character. And we've got a knockoff black. We got a knockoff black.
Widow.
The Widow. We got a nerfed Winter Soldier, a nerfed Red Guardian, and knockoff Captain America.
Yeah. This pulls me into the theater for sure.
Sure.
I don't know. I honestly believe that Marvel and DC both need to take a break. A long, extended break.
I said this probably about a year ago, that Marvel should have just put everything down after Endgame. Mm-hmm. Take about a 3-year break and just let it build and let it build and let it build. And then to announce phase 4, which was supposed to be the cosmic saga, not the multiverse, the cosmic saga, have like this shot out in space, whatever. And as a sun is peering up, you see the shadow, and you see the shadow, and you see the helmet of Galactus, and then just a silver streak just go flying through. That's it. It's all you need. And people would lose their minds.
And I do want to say good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're at, to Glenn Schroeder. Good morning, Glenn. He says, "What's up, gentlemen? I got to go play some music. Just had to throw a like for you." Well, thank you, brother. I really do appreciate it.
But that's my thought. That's what they should have done.
Exactly. Unfortunately, they're not going to listen to the fans because they still think that their fans are going to go out and see the movies in droves.
They are taking the phase 1, 2, and 3 fans for granted. Like they're going to always show up, and they're not going to question anything. But box office and TV viewership has shown otherwise.
Yeah, because I watched Hawkeye, and it was an okay series. It wasn't something I really thought to myself, "Oh, I gotta watch this. I can't wait for the next episode." No.
A Hawkeye, from the opening scene and the opening credits, they told you right from the start, this is not a Hawkeye show. This is a Kate Bishop show.
Mm-hmm.
Guest star Jeremy Renner.
Right. Yeah, he's good. He's going to be the sidekick in his own show, as Loki was. To again that, and I say this all the time, and that was not a Loki variant. That's the Enchantress from the Loki comics, from the Thor comics.
Yeah, and when it came to Loki, I only watched 15 minutes of the first episode before I turned it off.
And as bad as She-Hulk, as much as She-Hulk is trying to be the worst MCU show, Loki is still the worst MCU show for the absolute damage it did, the irreparable damage to phases 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did a lot of damage. She-Hulk is just a one-off piece of crap that just
awful show.
It doesn't do anything to the overarching storyline. But yeah,
but what Loki did, was absolute. It took the entire character arc of Tony Stark and made it irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
It took everything to do with Thanos, just gone, ridiculous.
Yep.
The whole phase, all phase 1, 2, 3, it's gone.
Irrelevant. It was
irrelevant.
Didn't
need to happen
because it was always going to happen. There was no free will in that entire in phases 1, 2, and 3. That final snap where that triumphant, emotional, satisfying moment where Tony knows he's gonna die, but still goes, "I am Iron Man," and snaps. That moment is always going to happen at that time, at that place, and it will always be Tony that does it. So that entire 11 years of character growth meant nothing.
Yeah, and that said, considering how much money the Iron Man movies made, and then you have Robert Downey Jr. as the highest paid actor for the Avengers.
Yeah, it so high paid that he didn't get a check. He got a cut of the net.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
so, yeah.
Again, it just shows that both Disney and Warner Brothers need to stop making DC and Marvel movies for a period of time. Let people, just take a break.
I think what the Warner Brothers needs to do, and I'm sure Zaslav is on the phone with anybody associated with Henry, just going, how much, because if you get Ben, Gal, and Henry to just do the world's finest, that would reset everything and be a lot of goodwill toward fans, and then take a break and start anew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I didn't find the article on it in time for this morning, but David Zaslav and Warner Brothers are being sued right now, according to what I've seen.
For what?
I don't know. I can look it up now, and if we want to talk about it this morning, we can.
Because I know nothing about anime, so let me see where it is. Let's get it somewhere.
But I will talk about this article related to My Hero Academia real quick. And I have located an article. So we will talk about that next after we finish with the My Hero Academia article.
Okay.
Because that article I found also comes from Comic Book News. And I know what people think about different sides, but I figure if I find a story on one side or another, I'm going to use it. So this article from comicbook.com says My Hero Academia's sixth season will bring Class 1A's young heroes against the paranormal liberation army, the villainous enclave, led by Shigaraki, that came about thanks to the hostile takeover involving the League of Villains and the Meta Liberation Army. To help in promoting the first episode that will begin this battle for Hero Society, Koei Hirokashi, the Magnica, who created Deku, Bakugo, and many more in the Shonen universe, has shared new hilarious art focusing on a serious Midoriya ready for battle. When last we left the current inheritor of One for All, inheritor, sorry. I don't know why I called it inheritor, but inheritor of One for All, he was learning under the number one hero Endeavor, fighting crimes with the hot-headed Heroes Agency alongside his friends Bakugo and Shoto Todoroki. While Izuku was sharpening his quirk, Shigaraki and his fellow League members were able to increase the power of their quirks by leaps and bounds with their fight against Redrestro and the Meta Liberation Army. Not only netting them more power, but also increasing their resources and adding over 100,000 members to their cause. Based on the number, based on the current threat level of the villains, don't expect any of these heroes, young or otherwise, to walk away from the sixth season unscathed. Koei Hirokoshi took the opportunity to share the new Deku artwork on his official Twitter account using buckets of slime to give himself a far cooler aesthetic, while the One for All user employed the use of Shoto Todoroki to take some cool images before they both participate in the war arc in the anime adaptation. So there you see the artwork, and there you see Deku. And it says Hirokoshi has been quite busy recently with the final arc taking place in My Hero Academia's manga as the heroes and villains clash once again for the fate of Hero Society. As All for One tangles with professional heroes such as Endeavor and Hawks, Shigaraki has come face to face with Midoriya as the showing protagonist was barely able to contain his rage. Regardless of how My Hero Academia ends, it's clear that the spectacle will put Hirokashi and his team of artists to the test with the final battle that lays everything on the line. And of course, it asks the question, what do you think of the latest Deku art from the creator? You know, and it's in line with what he's created before, and it foreshadows the upcoming season. So, we'll just have to wait and see when season 6 of My Hero Academia premieres to see what happens. I know it was actually the first anime that I actually was interested in watching. I tried watching Dragon Ball Z multiple times and just couldn't get into it.
New art. This reminds me of, I don't know what Hero Academia. I don't know what the is the art any good in the original or the first ones.
I'll show you some of the art from the animated series and also the manga. Let me just bring it up here.
Is it art in the manga or the animated series that they're redoing?
It's mainly hyping up the 6th season of the anime series.
Okay. See, now I remember back in the 90s where they had very successful art with the X-Men the animated series.
Oh yeah,
and everybody loved it. Freaking X-Men was awesome cartoon. So and then in the fifth,
that was 1992, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Then in the 5th season, they went with a different animation company because they had problems or whatever. I can't remember what exactly was going on, but and the art was should I say lackluster at best. It was more or far less gritty, more bright. It was cheaper, I would say.
Gotcha.
You know, and that was the last season also. So, you know, take that for what it is, but it didn't work out well. I mean, I didn't like it. I wasn't like excited for season 6, but they didn't get one anyway. But yeah, I was very disappointed when they changed art company or animation companies because it just wasn't as good. So I don't know. They may, you know, change isn't always bad. Maybe they will get a better animation company. Maybe the art will improve. Like I said, I don't know, you know, how good it was at the beginning. So, anyway, maybe X-Men all over again. And if it is, I feel sorry for you guys.
Oh, that was just promotion art that he's doing to get folks excited about the upcoming season of My Hero Academia. So I do have the art from the manga from the actual artist himself, and I'm just gonna bring it up here in just a moment. And I do have somebody backstage who I will bring in here just shortly. But this is some of the art from the manga. So, I mean, the cell animation, along with the computer animation that they use in the series, is pretty close to the art that you see here in the manga. And someone that might be able to speak on it even more, well, as long as it is the real Cash Money 007 and not the imposter I've had the last couple of editions of Pop Talk.
Don't get fooled again.
I don't want to get fooled again, but I'm taking a chance right now.
What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, my guidance counselor says that certain words perpetuate this sexist worldview that could trigger...
Quiet! From now on, you won't listen to your guidance counselor. You're going to listen to me. Is that understood?
Yes, Sensei.
Imagine if Mike was actually my guidance counselor. I don't know. Something about that is just...
Sounds like the real deal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's the authentic article.
Gosh.
What's up, Cash?
What's up, Joker Face? Good to see you again, man.
Voice.
Mm-hmm.
Joke. Smile for me. It may be Joker Face too.
Well, it says that, so it has to be Joker Face.
Joker voice.
It's got to be the real face, the Joker voice. I know. I like Joker Face, though. I know. I see it. It's very cool.
He's not impressed.
I am, actually. I like Joker.
So how's your morning going, Cash?
I don't know. I'm still alive somewhere, so I figure I'm doing okay.
The world's a better place for it.
I guess so. I guess.
Well,
so,
you know, your Dodgers are still on a roll.
Very much so.
Oh,
They're rolling hard.
The Dodgers.
So we were just talking about My Hero Academia manga creator hyping up season 6 with a little sample art, and it's pretty cool. I'm not going to get too excited yet. I want to find out when the season's actually going to premiere, whether it's dubbed or whether I have to read subtitles. I don't care.
No, the dub's solid though. I like the dub.
But I do have an article related to Warner Brothers Discovery and David Zaslav being sued.
Really?
Yes. Warner Brothers Discovery sued for allegedly deceiving investors, lying about HBO Max subs. Well, what company doesn't lie about their sub count?
Numbers, right?
All right. So it says an Illinois police pension fund is suing Warner Brothers Discovery, alleging that Warner Brothers deceived investors by misrepresenting HBO Max subscriber numbers during the merger with Discovery. The lawsuit, according to the Wrap, okay, I messed that up. The lawsuit, and then it goes, according to the Wrap, a lawsuit was filed in New York last week on behalf of the Collinsville Police Pension Board, which is an Illinois-based Warner Brothers Discovery shareholder, having accepted shares of WBD in the trade for per merger Class C common Discovery shares. More than 700 million shares of WBD were issued to Discovery common and preferred shareholders as part of the merger. The lawsuit, which names Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav and CFO Gunnar Weidenfels as defendants, claims that among several items of adverse information being kept hidden, Warner Brothers and Discovery misrepresented the subscriber information for HBO Max, overstating the number of actual subscribers for the service by a significant amount. I'm not surprised, to be honest. It goes on to say Warner Media was improvidently concentrating its investments in streaming and ignoring its other business lines, and overstated the number of subscribers to HBO Max by as many as 10 million subscribers, by including as subscribers AT&T customers who had received bundled access to HBO Max. Well, that's what Disney was doing with Verizon customers.
I agree. Freaking Disney needs to be sued because they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm looking right here at the Wrap, and its founder, Sharon Waxman, has been a correspondent with the Washington Post, New York Times, and has also been online journalist of the year by the LA Press Club. This gal obviously leans very far left. So I think this might be more. This may be a hit piece, and it's ideologically driven. I don't know, because I haven't heard, because this is the first I've heard of this. I haven't heard anything from Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, or Variety at all.
No, and that's the thing. It could be a hit piece, or it could be factual. We'll just have to wait for more information to come out.
Right.
Well, it's timing
Timing seems suspect.
Sus, as the kids say nowadays.
Yes.
10 million.
And welcome, Chaos.
Yo, welcome.
So,
thank you. Welcome.
Oh, it's channel. You can't do that.
It's
your
chaos.
Your channel. Welcome.
Remember, If Chaos is being a bad person, you just feed him to the spiders and Grounded. That's what you do.
Hey, those spiders bow before me.
Here's what I do to anybody who misbehaves on the channel.
I don't want my pain taken away. I need my pain.
I give them more pain by watching me play a game, but more importantly...
All right, youngster, out you go.
Don't come back. Ever.
Wyatt, I like it.
Yep. I love Tombstone. It's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, yeah, that movie is fire.
All right, so... It goes on to say the lawsuit is just the latest development with Warner Brothers Discovery merger, which has seen a flurry of headlines in recent months, especially pertaining to HBO Max. Back in August, the planned merger of HBO Max and Discovery Plus was announced for the summer of 2023. There's also been announcements about shifts in strategy for HBO Max, with the platform no longer focusing on live-action kids and family programming. Sudden cancellation of numerous animated series, as well as their removal from the platform entirely. There have also been layoffs both at HBO Max and at Warner Brothers Discovery overall. There has even been speculation that more upheaval for Warner Brothers Discovery could be on the way, with one recent report speculating that the company could be setting itself up to be sold to NBC Universal, though negotiations between NBC Universal and Warner Brothers Discovery couldn't take place until April 2024 at the earliest, as that is when Comcast has the right, but not the obligation, to sell its remaining 33% of Hulu to Disney.
A question. Do they have any sources like of the lawsuit or whatever, or like any screenshots, snapshots, anything to prove its authenticity?
It's coming from the Wrap, according to this article.
Well, that's
so, take it with a grain of salt.
A grain of salt.
Because I remember JD versus AH stuff and all the pictures they were posting of the actual, documents. I was like, is there any document pictures to support this?
Not that we know. I mean, this article itself was only posted on the 27th of September, so
I guess we'll have to stay tuned.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah, it could also just be a hit piece, because there are people out there that don't like David Zaslav, and they don't like what he's doing by getting rid of departments, getting rid of people who aren't going to make his company money.
That is definitely, yeah, you're right, because he has been doing a woke purge.
Also getting rid of the message.
Yeah, the woke purge will definitely put you on the crosshairs.
But the problem is that they're in a box with this whole Ezra Miller thing because of the Flash, and that's still going to come out next year. So
correct.
What a mess.
Right, I would not want to be him.
Right, and also, I believe I heard on Valiant that the Warner Brothers is still like $50 million in the hole.
Oof.
Yeah. Because that entire year of that with the lockdowns, when they did day and date on every single release, even after the lockdowns got lifted, and they got killed at the box office, absolutely destroyed. And because this is what happened again on Valiant with the day and date releases and the limited theatrical releases that Marvel did. AMC, the biggest movie theater chain in the world, basically told everyone, look, we are not going to take a hit. You're going to take the hit. So the normal domestic studio take of 55% got knocked down to 45%. The international take got knocked down from 43% down to 38%.
Mm-hmm.
So they lost. So studios like the Warner and the Marvel took massive hits.
Major oof.
And good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are, to Sir Blue Wolf.
Hello.
And
Good God, the oof.
Right?
Yep.
There's fail. Oh my, jeez. They're like approaching like Marvel and Disney / levels of fail. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. And they're not the only studio that's failing. There are other studios that are failing.
Yep.
In Hollywood.
Oh, Hollywood in general is a steaming dumpster fire. So, I mean,
no, really?
It's just sad, actually, to see.
Right.
It's just sad. It's at the point where I'm like, I'm not even angry anymore. It's just,
I don't care.
It's like, yeah, it's apathy. They say hate is the opposite of love. No, hate is not the opposite of love. Apathy is.
Right. And I was talking about this on the stream the other day. I mean, I want to enjoy going to the movies again. I want to, because I love that as a kid. I loved it growing up. I still love to go to the theater and go watch a film. I have my streaming services because there's nothing that I'm excited to go see. There's nothing that makes me to want to jump up and go see something.
There's a few movies out there.
It was Top Gun 2 for me. That was the first time in maybe a decade. No, not
Bullet
decade.
Train. I highly recommend Bullet Train.
It was Top Gun 2, and then it was the what was it, Dragon Ball? What's it called?
Oh yeah, that did do well at the box office for the
Dragon Ball Superhero.
Yeah, that one. That gave me that. Those are the first two movies since Endgame that gave me the tingles when I went to watch them.
And quick, I do want to say hello to Christian Phantom Geek. Good evening to you.
I mean, if I heard that a theater around here, around where I live was going to be showing RRR, I might go see that again. In
RRR?
Yep.
Don't make me put you in a timeout, Blue Wolf. I've known you too long.
What is that?
You sneaky
RRR?
man, you.
Yeah.
You have no idea what RRR is amazing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about RRR.
Is that the name, or is that just an acronym?
Yeah, no, that's the name.
That's the name. That's the name.
It's a name, but it's also an acronym. It's
Rise, Roar, Revolt.
Yeah.
Yep, never heard of that.
It's an Indian film, so it's dubbed. But it's like, I'm gonna watch it. I have it somehow, but I'm eventually gonna watch it. But I just don't like watching sub or dub, not dub, but sub movies. Yeah,
I don't like it either.
I hate it, but I'm gonna give it a shot because it's so highly recommended.
It is a Tollywood film. That it's a action adventure film that has just over the top action. It's got the over the top action. It's got good, not Zack Snyder some slow-mos in there, and of course then it's gonna have in Indian fashion, it's got to have at least 2 dance numbers, which are just glorious. But it's based in independent India.
Wow. We're still part of the Britain. Gotcha.
Yes, the colonizers are, hanging out. So.
There's gonna, I don't know. There was only a few movies this summer that was even worse. Something I would even say, if you wanted to see something animated, like instead of seeing Lightyear, go see Minions. Minions was actually quite enjoyable.
You said that you really enjoyed that movie when you and your brother went and saw it.
Yeah, it was good. I wouldn't say it's the funniest thing I've ever seen, but it was funny.
And isn't that sad that we're now in a state where something that, say, 5 years ago would have been meh, it's like, it's not that bad because of all the crap that we have.
Minions hilarious. I always remember people say, "Oh yeah, Minions this, Minions that." I've always heard good, things about Minions.
Right.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
I mean, it's no Incredibles because Incredibles 1 is probably the most epic freaking movie Pixar has ever put out.
There's not a lot out there like Incredibles 1. Movie's amazing. Yeah.
I cannot believe how dark that movie was. Like when we went back and rewatched it, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Okay, and Marvel, if you're listening, if you want to do the Fantastic Four right, watch The Incredibles.
It's just. Well, I don't know. Pixar is really, considering they're the #1 animated studio in the world, where they're going now. It's not good.
They're never gonna achieve what they achieved before.
Hopefully, I don't know. The Lasseter being gone and stuff, it might also play a role. But I don't know who the heck they're hiring this stuff, because that Lightyear movie has so many writing issues. It's
Lasseter is at Sky Diddy Dance.
Yes, that's right. He's doing his own animated stuff now.
The only hope is going to be when there's the collapse, when like all these companies we have to either put out good stuff or die. Until then, we're just gonna watch the slow burn.
Yeah, but I think they're too stubborn to even admit that they have to change.
Yeah, I mean,
they won't admit it, but one day they will actually turn it around, and
they're gonna have to.
I mean, that Lightyear movie bombed. It doesn't matter if you saw it or not; it still bombed at the box office. Like, they're just saying that as an actual Pixar film. I don't even think Cars 2 bombed that bad. Or what did other people not like, The Last Dinosaur or something? I don't think. Yes, is that what it? Yeah, The Good Dinosaur. Thank you. I don't think those bombed as bad as Lightyear. Like, Lightyear was just a movie that shouldn't even have been made. It didn't need to be made at all if you saw it or didn't see it, but it just didn't need to be made. I mean, unfortunately, I saw it, but I can tell people don't go see it.
Who dragged you in to see that? Because I know you didn't do it willingly.
Well, my brother wanted to see it, so I said I'll just go.
What did I keep telling you, Cash? Go see Maverick. Go see Maverick.
I did finally see Maverick though in the theater, so it's okay.
Right?
I just waited a while. I did at least see it. Yeah.
I tried to save you, Cash.
I know, it's all right.
The only problem I have with Maverick is
I threw you the lifeline.
A damn mission. In mission. It's like, you're telling me we got a whole aircraft carrier with 70 aircraft on it, and we're only going to send 4? Okay. Let it go.
Yes. For movie purposes, they only said 4.
Yeah.
And we're going to fire off 100 cruise missiles at the airbase, but we're not going to fire a single missile at any of the SAMs? Let it go. I said, nope.
It's just a movie. It's just a movie. It's never going to be based in reality.
It doesn't.
As a prior service member, that drives me insane.
At this point, they were like, you know what? We don't even want to tell them who the enemy is. We'll just call them the enemy and be done with it. Then we don't have to deal with the garbage. Probably they were thinking like,
well, that's what they did in the first movie. So yeah,
it's true.
First movie was harder to figure out who it was, though. But they're like, oh, there's a nuclear facility over here trying to be built. Okay, and this is a country that has F-14s. Only one country besides America ever had those. I wonder.
If you guys like that like Quentin Tarantino style, then I highly recommend Bullet Train. Bullet Train was quite enjoyable. A lot of interesting characters, fast pace. Yeah,
it was well written. That's the part that really gets you. Yeah, the characters are great. The acting was really good, but everything that intertwined with each other, it was well thought out, well written, and very well executed. So, yeah, for my money, Bullet Train was I didn't know what it was even going to be like before I went into it, and I came out very surprised.
Is Bullet Train that one with the guy who sat down at the table?
The Brad Pitt film.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt. Yeah.
There's like two guys, and he's like, and then sit down at the table, and then the other guy, Brad Pitt's like, yo, and the other guy tried to pretend like he didn't know him, and then they like did some like Han Solo type shit.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's some table talking action going on.
Okay, that's the movie then. Okay, because I saw a picture. I mean, I saw advertisement. I don't remember. I didn't see it. No. Okay.
You should see it if you like that Quentin Tarantino style. But really, it is I found it to be quite enjoyable.
Yeah,
it was definitely enjoyable. Yeah, it's very good. Very good film.
Surprised. Okay.
That's some replay value.
And sir, yes.
I'm gonna scoot because it's starting to get warm out here, and I need to get some errands done. It was a pleasure being on again, and it was a pleasure to meet the rest of you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, Joker's face.
Oh yeah, Joker.
That's right. I can't guarantee it because
thank you for coming on, Joker Voice. I really appreciate it, and I do want to extend an invitation to this coming Saturday's stream at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. Get to know us, and it's going to be about YouTube and Twitch content creators talking about their channels and telling everybody who comes by what their channel's about.
I will definitely look. I will definitely see if I'm awake at that time, and if I am, I'll be there.
All right, brother.
All right, Joker.
Guys. Have a good one.
Take care, guys.
See you, man.
All right, Joker. See you, man.
Boy.
What?
It's great.
But yeah.
But yeah, no, shows like Buffy, Xena, other stuff. I mean, there's just a lot of interesting. Even if Xena got silly, goofy, whatever, it could be also serious, and there were friendship. There's a lot of stuff going on for shows like that. Same with Hercules. Like even as goofy as these shows could be,
you just made me sad.
They get even these shows that can be goofy, like Hercules or Xena. There is serious moments in there, and there's some cool action, and there's some good writing as well. So yeah.
Well, it goes back in the day when you know people were hired on based on skill, not on what's between their legs or what color their skin is.
Well, you know who actually worked on a few episodes of Xena? Alex Kurtzman.
Oh God!
Oh yeah, I'm sure he did.
Yeah. It's probably the bad episodes.
I don't know.
I cringed so hard, my neck muscles.
Well, when you take on a beast like Star Trek and some of the, I don't know, I just be like, just whatever came before it, just follow that pattern. But that's just me.
No, you're correct. But me and Mike in high school could have done a better job than Kurtzman did on that.
Just need to have.
I didn't watch Xena for the stories. I watched it because of Lucy Lawless. Yeah. There, I said it. I admitted it.
That's fine.
I was on Camp Gabrielle myself.
I like Gabrielle too.
Yeah.
I was hoping they'd get together.
Oh my.
I was with the lesbians.
No, I was down for Hercules to come back and get some of them guts. Like Hercules.
There were some crossovers, if I remember, with Hercules and Xena.
Yeah. I think that's the only woman on the planet that can hang with you, bruh.
Yeah, she was. I mean,
when
she was introduced on Hercules' Legendary Journeys, she was the villain.
And you know damn well Gabrielle wouldn't survive. Okay, Lucy Styles would crush her head like a watermelon.
Oh my God.
Alrighty.
Oh man. That escalated quickly, man, for sure.
Yeah, yes it is. Cash, you were thinking the same thing I was thinking, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip. Gosh, that's scary. You're getting to know me too well.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk about this next article. And it's about a new first-person shooter called The Finals. And it's from PC Gamer, and the author of this article is Morgan Park. It says, I almost don't believe the destructibility in this first-person shooter is real. The Finals is a team-based shooter from ex-Battlefield devs, and you can definitely tell. It goes on to say, I thought multiplayer shooters had run out of ways to surprise me, but I had a genuine shock to the system yesterday morning watching this gameplay trailer for The Finals, a free-to-play first-person shooter in development by ex-Battlefield devs at Embark Studios. The trailer shows a brief look at what's apparently possible in The Finals. Entire buildings crumbling into hundreds of pieces at whim of a grenade launcher while players parkour across the falling debris like Nathan Drake.
Parkour! Parkour!
What I saw didn't line up with my current understanding of what's possible in online games. What you can't do destruction this big in a multiplayer lobby. So how was The Finals pulling it off? If I hadn't seen it for myself in a remote presentation by Embark, I wouldn't believe it. The Finals is a team-based first-person shooter set in a virtual game show. The premise immediately brought back memories of Ubisoft's mediocre, now shuttered battle royale game, Hyperscape. But this definitely isn't that. The Finals main mode is played in 12-player lobbies, 4 teams of 3, on a variety of completely destructible maps based on real-world locations. Embark called it an extraction mode, but its description sounds more like a normal respawn mode. Players fight over boxes of coins and compete to hold the most damage dough by the end of the round. And it goes on to say, so there's a lot of standard shooter stuff going on, but everything revolves around the Finals server side destruction tech, which promises the players can flatten everything from furniture to entire buildings. Sounds like my kind of game.
Oh, you had me at first-person shooter.
Yeah, we.
Go ahead, Cash. Go ahead.
Oh, no, we haven't had many games that have actual good destruction. Like Crackdown 3 was supposed to have this really cool destruction. So when you played the campaign, a lot of things were going to blow up. Didn't happen. Battlefield had some good destruction, but nothing as good as Bad Company and Red Faction. Yeah, Red Faction Guerrilla.
That's AKA Boom, the game.
Those games had some really fun destruction. So it's like people would like this more. So maybe this will be a start of bringing more of this destruction back. But the Crackdown thing was very disappointing. And when you actually play it, it's like, oh, where's the destruction, man? This just seems like a poor man's version of Grand Theft Auto in some ways. But it would have been nice to just blow up stuff, because you were supposed to be able to do that in multiplayer. So blow up buildings, blow up this. Yeah.
Man, the destruction of Red Faction Guerrilla was just
it's impressive. World. It's still impressive, yeah.
That you forgot Mercenaries. You could.
Was there another one? Okay.
Mercenaries 1 and 2.
Oh, I don't know if I played those.
You could call airstrikes and air out entire blocks.
That's pretty cool.
The article goes on to say,
dropping a nuke on an oil refinery.
The article goes on to say Embark is really proud of the behind-the-scenes technology making this possible, so much so that it won't comment on how it works before the Finals releases. Mysterious And another reason why to stay a little skeptical, despite the video clips we're seeing. And I figure that this is some of the alpha footage right here that we're seeing. I'm going to go ahead and blow it up a little bit before continuing on with the article.
I like what you did there. Go blow it up. Nicely done.
Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes I fall flat on my face.
No.
All right.
That almost slipped by me.
It's not going to magnify it, so I'll just continue reading the article. It says, Embark co-founder and chief creative officer Rob Runs. Yeah, I can't even speak this morning. But then that's normal for Pop Talk. Rob Renninson expects the final's unique tech to change how similar games are made going forward. I think that many other studios that are working on dynamic shooters will panic now, he said. Creative director Gustav Telby claimed, and well, let's hope they do. The answer is probably a lot of smart math aided by generational advances. It certainly doesn't hurt that the finals is leaving the last gen console hardware behind. It's planned to release on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S, but not PS4 or Xbox One.
Oof.
Goes on to say dynamic destruction has long been a white whale in multiplayer games. There's a reason that most online games with destructible worlds like Fortnite or Minecraft are often made up of simple block-sized pieces that rarely move. Every piece of the environment, from its appearance to its location, has to perfectly sync across dozens of players, so keeping it simple makes sense.
True.
Some games have achieved truly dynamic destruction, notably Rainbow Six Siege and Battlefield. Makes sense that Embark's DICE alums are interested in the challenge, but the scope is relatively small. While Battlefield has select buildings that can be punctured to trigger a canned collapse animation, buildings in the finals will blow apart like chunks of Swiss cheese until gravity brings them down. The dense, crumbling explosions in the trailer reminded me of what Red Faction Guerrilla managed to pull off in 2009. That's a game that Chaos just brought up.
Delicious. I still have my copy.
Tillaby says this level of destruction is a holy grail that Embark has been chasing. We want the finals to be a game about intuitiveness, where if you think something should work, it probably will. And where if you want to play the game a certain way, the game won't stop you, he said. It's a game that says yes more than it says no. So if Pacific, Cash, Anonymous, and Chaos decide to go around and blow up a few buildings, we can go blow up a few buildings, because Chaos can attest whenever we play State of Decay 2, I need my explosives going after those zombies.
Oh, yeah, my character has a permanent ring in his ear for some strange reason.
Should have been standing so close.
Aha! You aired out the whole block.
Well, there was a horde of zombies. What do you expect?
Fair enough.
All right, so it goes on to say Malibu city blocks will certainly introduce unpredictability to the finals, unseen in any other multiplayer first-person shooter, but I'm just as interested in the other ways you can interact with the world. The way Embark describes the finals sounds like a physics-Y systems-driven game, almost like an immersive sim. You can pick stuff up and throw it around, set fires, or make sky bridges from a glue cannon ripped straight out of Arcane's Prey. The same glue stuff can be found in barrels and thrown at the ground to create instant cover. Based on how prominent grapple hooks are in the trailer, that may be a default way to get around. Gunplay, unsurprisingly, looks a lot like Battlefield in terms of speed, mobility, and the types of guns on offer. I spotted your standard AK-47 equivalent, light machine gun, and pistols, according to the author. It's near future, but definitely not Cyberpunk 2077. I'm immediately eager to check out the finals for myself. Blowing stuff up looks like a lot of fun. Well, it is when you're hunting zombies. I can attest to that.
It's here when you're hunting anything.
But the novelty could wear off pretty quick if there's not a fundamentally enjoyable game at its core, or if you have teammates that actually suck. And I don't mean by gameplay, I mean by lack of teamwork.
Mm-hmm. It's always usually a problem, especially now.
Yeah, that's me. I generally don't give a crap what you guys are doing.
It goes on.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Anonymous.
No, I find it hard. I don't know. I don't play in these types of. It's usually like, I know there's team deathmatch games like that. I guess that's what it is, right? Yeah, I'm used to Call of Duty, where it's basically, even in team deathmatch, it's basically, you just fend for yourself. There's nobody's helping anybody. You just try not to die. You try to kill more of them than you get killed. So
yeah, they're just camping somewhere or whatever, even on your team.
What War's done is surprisingly have managed to increase the teamwork in sly ways, where people are actually, being tactical and helping each other. So
although you still have people that'll camp out at a respawn point and shoot your tank as soon as you respawn.
Yes, that is what P-51 Mustangs and 1,000 pounds of freedom can fix. I love fighting the campers when I have 2,000 pounds of bombs strapped to my wings.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, without everybody talking to each other and formulating a plan in these kind of games, I mean, there's not much teamwork to be done, right?
Well, it depends on the game. War Thunder, I've played that game so much that I can look at the map and I can tell who's experienced, because the experienced players, you'll see them go to one side. I go, okay, I know what they're doing, and then I'll go and do what I got to do in conjunction to where they're. Like, I'll see the teams fanning out, and I'll know where I should put myself to best help support the team. Almost like just head nods, like, or doing like the hand signals in the military movies, where we just know what to do.
Well, that's why Overwatch and some of these other games, like, they were fun for a while, but it's the teamwork that really kills it. People just not caring, and you have to rely on them to get a higher rank. And even when you're playing with friends, if it's just two people, you could still lose if other people don't care about the objective or teamwork, and it's frustrating. So they have to set this stuff up properly like they used to, where they can balance this out, and with the destruction it should be fun. So
yeah, true that, especially since the maps are going to be constantly changing now. It's like, damn it, there's a building there, click, boom, not anymore, let's go.
I mean, you play like Battlefield 2042, and it's just you join up and you can have some fun, sure, but it doesn't really still feel like an actual team game. And that's still a problem in these multiplayer games and these first-person shooters. I mean, even with things like TF2 going way pretty far back, like early 2000s, you still were feeling enough like a team. You still had to work together to some extent, especially if you're playing Capture the Flag or whatever. But there has to still be that teamwork aspect there, and you can't, when it's just like, oh, I'm going to screw over the team, and then you have to rely on people. That's when it really sucks, and it gets really frustrating.
True.
And I do want to say hello to Phil McCracken, who says, your like has been smashed. Sorry I can't stay. I'm not feeling well. Have a good stream, and please play Anonymous theme for me later, please. So I'll do it for you right now if you're still here, Phil.
Phil, I was going to wish you to get well soon, but
what's wrong with Phil?
Oh man,
you stay sick for a couple days and you enjoy it. Okay.
Oh no,
he's not feeling well, and Phil, I hope you get better soon, brother.
Phil.
Anonymous. Anonymous. Anonymous.
What did I just see? What the hell? What the actual hell was that?
Oh my god!
See, you haven't been here when I played that. Every time Anonymous comes on, I play it.
It's great.
You shut up.
I'm confused.
It's so great.
I am confused.
I've even shown that to my brother, and he found it hilarious too. It's very catchy.
My confusion levels are elevated, Captain.
It's very catchy, Anonymous. It really is. You should be proud of it.
I'm glad you enjoy it, really.
Well, now I know where Team 4-Star got it from. I thought this was all from Team 4-Star. I was like, what?
But Anonymous, what was like the last multiplayer game that you played, like that you enjoyed, like a team shooter type game? Was it Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't play any of the Fortnite or whatever other games they are, just like that. It was cartoony.
Well, I always laugh at these younger people because they're like, "Oh, there's no way this guy could be good." Surprise, bitch!
Surprise, motherfucker!
Surprise! And it's like, dang, dude, how many times did you kill me? I says, dude, I've grown up with these games for years and years. Call of Duty, whatever. I'm gonna yes. You think I don't?
He's like, yeah, little young boys. Why don't you here hold my Kool-Aid while I air this whole block out? Let's go.
Sniper, you're crappy, but no, yeah. I tried to play. I like Call of Duty Warzone, but it just got weird.
Yeah, that one seems pretty good. I don't know. I haven't played
it
that yet.
It was good at first, but it's just like there's just too much. There's way too much. Get this, there's like a billion guns and a billion attachments and all the stuff that you need to do or you want to do, and then then they would change up games, like they would have one-on-one or some of the type of games that I did like. It's like, oh, they're only here for like a week or 2 weeks or something, and then just go away. And I don't know, I just got tired of it. I liked, man, some of the older ones, like the actual Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2.
Well, yeah, and they used to have an option where you could go offline and go online. So if you're playing the campaign, you're offline, and then when you want to play online, you can go online.
Yeah.
And that was nice. And then it was like, oh, now it's always online. It's like, well, that's just going to cause people to lag, unfortunately. Not everybody, but then the microtransactions, and if they're just like letting you buy, if it's just skins, it's okay, but you're already paying like $60 and now $70 for the game, even on PC at launch. So I don't know how they can justify $70 worth of content.
Straight greed, bro. If there is no justification, it's straight greed.
And the article does continue by saying that Embark is holding its first players playtest later this week from September 29th to October 3rd. So we'll know soon how well the server side destruction survives in a real network environment. And goes on to say here, this is not a marketing beat. This is for us to make sure we start building better games together with our community. Goes on to say, Embark didn't mention when the finals is coming out, but we know it'll be sometime in 2023. The studio recently delayed its other game, the co-op robo shooter Arc Raiders, to 2023. And I know a few people who've been looking forward to that one, so that it can focus on getting the finals out first. Gameplay in the trailer is tagged as pre-alpha, so it's still pretty early. yeah, as we saw in those clips that it did show here. Nothing there.
Yeah, usually I don't care what PC
Let's go
Gamer
ahead.
says much, but this was a good article, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for ourselves. Let me just get it up here. Second. Gonna switch screens. And we're gonna check this out. And here we go.
If you can see it, our contestants can probably destroy it. The arena has loaded. Here we go!
Okay, I want to see more of just gameplay instead of gameplay being interspliced between different effects.
Yeah, I agree. In the groups, they look kind of cheesy, but it's all right. I guess maybe that's the point.
I don't know. This.
The destruction looks cool, and then it's like, hey, you want to get to the finals? Join one of these groups. It's like,
no.
Yeah, I've got a response to that because after looking at that, I just got one response, and it's the perfect response. I think Cash knows where I'm going with it. I think Anonymous knows where I'm going with it. Even Chaos knows where I'm going with it.
How about no?
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, this looks like chaos, and I appreciate.
We're not talking about you, Chaos.
Not, yeah, I don't know what you look like. This this looks. It's just. I'm used to, not used to, but I like being sneaky or smart about what who I'm gonna kill. It's great to not just camp out, but like know where somebody's coming and just kind of wait for them a little bit. Okay, I'm fine with hiding behind a wall or hiding inside a thing for a minute because I know somebody's fixing to come around a corner or something, blast him, and then take off. Because you never want to stay in the same place more than 1 or 2 kills.
This guy sounds like a fan of Metal Gear, Splinter Cell, and what's it called? And what's the other one? Oh wow, what's that old school ninja game?
What are we thinking of? You said Splinter Cell. You said, what did you say?
Cell,
Ninja Gaiden.
Metal Gear, and no.
The newer Ninja Gaiden, or which stealth game are you talking about?
What's it? Oh no, it's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah, Metal Gear, Splinter Cell. You're talking about Hitman.
Hitman, there we go. That was the third one, but the fourth one was a ninja game from back in the day, and like you got your mission, you got all your ninja tools, you snuck around, and you could just drop down and stab people or kill them in all kinds of crazy ways.
Thief.
Tenchi? No.
Was it Thief? Are you thinking of Thief? Because Thief could be a stealth game.
Yeah, true. Wait, I gotta figure out what this is. That's gonna drive me nuts. I think I had.
But yeah, you figure that out.
Yeah.
But there's lots of different ways to kill people in these games, right? This looks just like it just running, spray and pray. Just.
So I believe you mean Michael Bay the movie is what you're trying to say?
Yeah,
Michael
basically.
Bay the video game. Okay, got it.
I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure I want some thought to go into how I'm killing or who I'm killing.
I don't know. Like the destruction looks cool, but I don't really want to join any of those teams.
Wait, how did you feel about Ghost Recon Future Soldier?
Oh yes, that's right. That was a stealth game. Yes, that was a fun game. I have that one.
Yeah, awesome.
The third person. I know Ghost Recon usually was like a third person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did like third person.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Well, that's fine. People like what they like, but I always loved the first person. And man, what I would kill for a good aliens
Aliens versus Predator
game that's as quality as
Marines.
All right, guys, I found the disc. It's called Tin Shoes, Wrath of Heaven.
I don't know that one.
Woo! Game is mwah.
I think it's apparently pretty good.
Ooh, I feel bad you guys didn't get to experience that from back in the day. It was like straight up, probably a super realistic ninja game, not like over the top, like realistic.
There hasn't actually been that many stealth games, surprisingly. There's been some.
And I do want to say hello to Pop Culture Mechanic. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Pop Culture?
Hey.
I got some stuff I need to bring into the shop, Mechanic. You think you can fix it? Lots of pop culture, just broken down.
So he's got to fix it.
Pop Culture Mechanic. You can go to Hollywood. There's a lot of work to be done over there.
It's like Wreck-It Ralph and stuff. So
yeah, just pound your little hammer on it.
So cool. We know you have that magic hammer somewhere, Pop Culture. We know that gold magic hammer somewhere.
All right. So our last article for this morning into the afternoon or into the evening, depending on where you're watching.
Okay, Truman.
PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. It's from Bounding into Comics, and it says director John Carpenter collaborating with Shout Factory TV for a marathon celebrating Godzilla and kaiju filmmaker Ishiro Honda. So it goes on to say, before I even talk about the article, I'm surprised Crit isn't here, considering he's a big Godzilla fan.
Godzilla.
It says John Carpenter, the acclaimed director behind Halloween and The Thing, is participating in a collaboration that pays tribute to one of his favorite movie monsters of all time, Godzilla. It goes on to say, as fun and monumental as it would be to see the celebrated filmmaker add his name to those chipping in on Godzilla vs. Kong Origins and the other upcoming MonsterVerse offerings, he has something else in mind. Carpenter is teaming up with retro movie label Shout Factory to host a marathon of films to ring in the King of the Monsters' 68th birthday and also celebrate the Toho Studios' long legacy of kaiju cinema. Goes on to say, last week he tweeted a video teasing the proceedings. Sitting in a theater, Carpenter, awaits a screening before the picture fades to black. The words "coming soon" then flash onto the screen with Godzilla's roar overlaying them. This tease sparked a fair amount of excitement, speculation, that had a number of fans wondering if Carpenter was finally getting the chance to helm a Godzilla related project or releasing a fan film he made decades ago. The film was called Godzilla versus Gorgo and depicted the Kane taking on one of his less popular driving clones from the West. It was deemed so devastatingly bad by its creator that he vowed never to show the thing, and, but that's another story. Instead, Carpenter is hosting an event named Masters of Monsters Godzilla, where he will showcase 4 of his favorite giant monster movies, including the original Japanese cut of Godzilla. Goes on to say, rounding out the marathon are Rodan, Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster, the War of the Gargantuous, which is a direct sequel to Toho's Frankenstein Conquers, the world that shares precious little, if any, continuity with Godzilla's Showa series. And another fun fact, Gargantuous is also a favorite movie of Bullet Train star and Hollywood heartthrob Brad Pitt. Pitt won't be showing up as far as we know, but Carpenter will pop in through the event to talk about each film and his admiration for the Godzilla franchise. Masters of Monsters Godzilla begins on November 3rd, Godzilla Day at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and runs through November 6th. Streaming channels Shop Factory TV, Toku, Shotsu, Scream Factory TV, and Shop Cult will be streaming the program. These channels can be found on Twitch and Pluto TV. Please consult mastersofmonsters.com for details. So I will go ahead and put that link into the chat as well for anyone who might be interested. So there's a link to this article. And here's the link to the website where you can find out where you can watch this particular series with John Carpenter. And of course, if you're a big fan of Godzilla, who wouldn't want to watch him rampaging and causing destruction, or in some cases, teaming up with his enemies to fight another enemy?
Yeah, I still remember Godzilla versus King Kong. That turned out way better than I thought it would.
Yeah, except in that movie, I could have done without the humans.
Right. Like I said about Transformers as well. All of them.
It should have taken place on Cybertron.
Yes, indeed. Hail, Cybertron.
Yes. Yes, you mentioned Soundwave. Well, I've been telling you there is an episode where the voice effect isn't in place, and I'm going to bring that episode up here shortly.
Oh, really?
Yes, there is an episode where the voice effect is not in place.
This should prove most interesting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's one of a couple I can think of, but it's one where I first noticed it.
Ah, yes, please play it.
I will. I got to get to it first. But I gotta search the Tubi system and pull it up. I know the episode name. It's called Roll for It.
I can just clap wolf spiders without even thinking about it now. My goodness, I'm getting powerful.
Don't mention the wolf spiders. For anyone who hasn't played Grounded, I hate the wolf spiders.
Well, I'm gonna have some new toys for you to play with.
All right, let me get to it.
We still have to find a way to replace the sword you lost. I'm like, where did it go?
Wasn't there. Come on. Right. I don't want to skip too far ahead.
Huh.
All right. Here it is. I'm bringing it up on screen. I've shared it before, so I shouldn't have any issues.
If you got an issue, here's a tissue.
So here we go. Oh, come on. Don't just pause. Oh, you. Now it wants to buffer.
Excellent ravage.
See? The voice effect wasn't in place.
The heck? It's like he has a sore throat.
No, it's Frank Walker. It's Dr. Claw.
Yeah.
Next time.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that was definitely strange.
Dr. Claw, how do you feel though about your face being shown in the movie?
What? Who dared show my face? Not even Mad Cat knows my face. Just my hand petted him.
You are definitely going to need a halls for your throat after that.
Don't worry, I'm not doing it too strenuous on my throat.
Okay.
All right. Not my regular voice.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the new area, the yard that they added. I definitely need your backup. Holy crap! Fire ants are no joke.
Well, remember, I did say that I have an episode of the box score to do today, and that I'm also going to be continuing my Shadow of the Tomb Raider streams.
I just got my face eaten off.
Was it by a wolf spider? Probably not, but it was by a bug.
No, it was about a whole ass gang of fire ants that decided they wanted to jump.
So, is there anything any of you would like to promote?
No, I mean, you guys, everyone who's here probably already knows my Twitch channel. And if you can, depending on whether or not you got some time to spare on going on a little mission. Other than that, yeah. And fire ants like eating my face.
You can call it exterminator or something.
I was trying to.
Oh, I got nothing, man. I'm head deep into trying to make this stupid picture, and I can't figure out a background that I like.
What kind of picture?
I'm working on a picture for the Rippaverse art contest.
Good luck with that.
Well, I'm not going to win. I'm just having fun, drawing something.
I can still wish you luck.
Well, thank you. Well, you kind of said it a little sarcastically.
What? Like, I can't wish you luck. Be like,
good luck with that. No,
that was actual good luck.
Well, I've already seen guys on there that are going to win, but
I mean, I'm just saying, because if you happen to win and you get to, talk to Ripper personally, be like, yo, I got a friend who's got some scripts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But yeah, I need to make a video and hurry up, get this done, because I got like 4 or 5 days left. And my background I got now, I don't know if I dig it or not. But
now I'm curious as to what it looks like. Damn it.
Just going to have to wait and see.
Wait and see. I'll post it on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter, and I'll post my finished artwork on Twitter when I'm done. And then I'll submit it to the Rippaverse. And I'm waiting for my stinking comic books.
Right.
Where are my comic books? Everybody else is getting them. I'm getting FOMO. Come on.
Holy crap. I just found the Mushroom Kingdom.
We'll get them. We'll get them. Just got to be patient. Just got to wait.
It too?
Well, you know what?
Yes, I did.
Huh.
I want to make a video, review video, but I'm going to be like the 900th guy to do it. So,
well, you know, everyone's going to be peeping. It's not going to matter. Everyone's just loving how much Rippaverse is making Marvel and DC lose their damn minds.
Yeah.
That alone is just hilarious.
He's funny.
All their BS narratives don't work on him.
I think he has fun. I think he enjoys beating them down on Twitter.
Oh yes, the tears. He feasts upon their tears.
Okay,
so
that.
Oh, go ahead.
That's all I got. That's all I got. One day I will make another video, but just hang on and wait for it. Come to my channel and subscribe and wait for my next video. Be patient.
Oh man,
Cash Money, you still there? Or are you eating?
I'm still here. Hello.
Eating sounds like a good idea. I can't survive off the blood of my enemies alone.
All right, Cash, how about you promote yourself?
Duh. There's just things being worked right now. That's all I can say. There is. I decided that after watching the how the community manager feels about people that criticize the new Saints Row reboot, made me want to say, you know, I think I'm gonna start playing the old Saints Row, the old Saints Row reboot, or Saints Row reboot Robo.
You're done.
Wow. No,
it's over.
No, but seriously, I'm gonna play like Saints Row 2, just to stick it to these people, like the community manager of the reboot, who basically wanted to tell the fans that basically the game is a failure. That's what the fans said to the community manager, and she basically told them to go F themselves. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I feel like play the old ones and never buy the reboot. Yeah,
bruh, that's a coincidence, because as soon as I heard about that, I downloaded it yesterday, because I had bought it on like some sale a long time ago. No. Actually, my friend Dove gifted it to me. So I go, you know what? I'm going to download part 2 and stream it.
Yeah,
that's great minds think alike.
But that's I had to I got just twisted with my words, Anonymous, because that whole situation is just aggravating. And so it's like I want to call it Saints Ruru instead of
You've been around me too long, Cash.
He just sounds like his brain is turning off his suction. He's like, he needs some sleep, or he needs some milk, one of the two.
Eat your Snickers, you'll feel right.
I'll eat my Snickers. But no, there was a video that Crit showed me recently about the Saints Row problem, and it's like, dude, this reboot is just an absolute mess. And for the community manager, here's another situation where companies are going after fans again because they criticize their work. I've had enough, Anonymous. So I'm gonna play the old ones. Tell people that I don't usually ever tell people not to buy a game, but I'm going to tell them definitely not stay away from this one, especially until they fire that community manager, she's ridiculous.
Right? Whatever. I couldn't believe what she was popping off. I was like, damn.
Sounds kind of communist, community manager.
Yeah.
What's new, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you and I are going to be reviewing season 5 of Cobra Kai.
Yes. We will be getting to that. Yes.
Yes. All right, Chaos, you're up.
Yeah, like I said, you guys know my Twitch, Chaos WTNX at Twitch. Gonna be actually continuing to stream Grounded, Civil War Thunder, and I will be, as soon as I handle my controls issue, be doing a Screw You Saints Row. I'm playing 2 stream. Yeah, going back old school.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Other than that, also might do a Jedi Fallen Order stream. Just hey, debating.
Oh, that was a good game, man. I can't. Yeah. I'm excited for the next one. I know I'm going to get disappointed, but
you may not be.
I may not be. I may. God,
I thought Fallen Order was going to be a pile of ass. I was like, oh no. Then I was like, damn. So
it's not. But then Respawn was going off on fans about Apex Legends and stuff, and I'm like, dang it, Respawn Entertainment, what the hell? Nothing's going to happen with things like the Fallen Order. Fallen Order 2 could be just as fun as the first game. I don't know. When I read that stuff about Apex Legends, my brain exploded. I went, really? Now Respawn Entertainment is now saying, like, if you criticize stuff like Apex Legend, it's now considered hate speech. And I'm like, here we go again.
Oh my God, snowflake! I swear,
it's too much. It's just too much.
Yep.
So they're not going to be afraid to go full retard and ruin the game. I guarantee they're not afraid to, whether they do it or not.
It's so weird.
It's okay. Don't worry, Cash. Our side is winning the culture war slowly but surely. Every single day, new ground is being taken, and this whole censorship and whatnot. There's going to be repercussions. There's going to be repercussions.
Well, I just hope that it starts with Elon Musk finally buying Twitter. I know it seems like he probably just kept trolling, but it would be nice if he finally buys Twitter. I don't care if they put him in a corner or something.
Why
just
would he
buy Twitter.
Buy that bot-filled sack of crap.
Start cleaning it up. Yep, fix it a lot.
You have to burn it down and start over.
It's fine.
Well, that's fine.
Well, if he ends up getting it, he'll do what he wants to do, and it won't matter what we think.
That's right.
And that's just my thoughts on it now. As far as the PACIFIC414 YouTube channel is concerned, later on today, I will have another recap of Reds and Cubs. I will be recapping this afternoon's game. The Cubs are on a hot streak right now. They've won 6 in a row. They entered today's game going for win number 7. And then, of course, I am going to do another stream of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And then on Wednesday, there will be the box score PACIFIC414 Pop Talk Super Show, where in the first half hour, as long as the game is actually over, I will be recapping that day's final game of the 2022 Major League Baseball season between the Cincinnati Reds and Chicago Cubs. And then we will go into PACIFIC414 Pop Talk and talk about any news, rumors, and opinion in pop culture. So I look forward to doing that. And then, of course, Saturday, with some streams probably being sandwiched in between Wednesday and Saturday. But Saturday will be PACIFIC414 Pop Talk, Get to Know Us. I'll actually show you all what the graphic looks like for that stream. And let's see, there it is. So let me go ahead and remove myself for a quick second so you can at least see some of it. Then I'll bring myself. But anyways, Sunday will be the Get to Know Us stream, where I invite anybody who has a YouTube channel or Twitch channel to come on and talk about what your channels are about, what one can expect when they visit your YouTube channel for the first time or your Twitch channel for the first time. You know, your YouTube content, what do you like to talk about on your channel? What kind of games do you mostly like to play on your Twitch channel? Do you do gaming on both YouTube and Twitch? Well, come on and talk about it. It'll be an open invitation for anybody who wishes to come on. And that'll be this coming Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, with the baseball season winding down, don't worry, there will be occasional updates with the box score mound visit, talking about the latest signings, latest trades, latest rumors throughout Major League Baseball. And, part of Wednesday's box score PACIFIC414 Pop Talk Super Show will be me discussing what the future lies for the Cubs and some of the rule changes going into effect for the 2023 season. Pitch clock, anyone?
Say that again?
Pitch clock, anyone? Yes, they're implementing a pitch clock in the 2023 season. They're trying to, quote unquote, speed up the game.
Wow.
Do they have a problem with people taking their time throwing a pitch?
Manfred does. Some of the TV executives do. It's like, come on. Let the pitcher and catcher go through their signs. If they have a disagreement, well, that's why there's a mound visit.
I swear.
But, it happens in entertainment. It happens in sports. There are people in power who think, no, we need to change this. This no longer applies. Leave it alone. Leave well enough alone. It's working. Leave it alone. Don't touch it.
I wonder why things are dying.
Yep. So that's what's coming up here on the PACIFIC414 YouTube channel. And I also want to say, because I noticed it yesterday, and I'm just saying it just because, make sure that you're still subscribed to the channel, because YouTube does have a habit of unsubscribing people. And the reason I say that is because Friday night, I went to bed and I had 320 subscribers. Throughout yesterday, went down to 319, then 318, then 317, and back to 316. So make sure that you're still subscribed, and make sure you hit that notification bell and put it to all. This way you get notified every time I go live or upload a new video.
Well spoken.
Yeah, they do it to me too. I'd gain 3 and lose 1 to 2.
Interesting.
Yes. It gets old.
It does. It's a yo-yo. I hate it.
So with that being said, this has been Mike along with Anonymous. We had Chaos, Cash Money, and also Joker Voice and Potato Raven saying thank you all for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, and I will see you all later.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Deuces.